Okay, it says for each parabola, state the vertex, whether the vertex is a max or min, equation of the axis of symmetry, the domain, the range, all that stuff. Probably forgot some of this. What is the vertex of the parabola, or where is the vertex of the 2, 0, right? Is it a max or min point? Minimum. Considered it. Okay, and then the equation of the axis of symmetry. You guys remember that one?
No.
It's a line that goes right down the middle, splits it in half.
Wouldn't it just be
X
2?
equals 2.
X equals 2. That's correct. Basically, it's the same x coordinate as your vertex. Why is a vertical line called x equals 2? Because all the points on that vertical line have an x value of 2. Alright, anyways. The domain. What's the domain mean?
Isn't that the X value?
X values. So what x values are used in the
All
parabola?
of the above.
All. So we did that. This is not. Okay, it's okay. I'll just put that domain equal to that. It's nothing. All real numbers. What's the range?
Greater than 0.
Wait, why would you put that one
I was testing the marker
there? Oh.
for the smart board. Yeah, it's the y values. How far up and down can you go? You can go everything up from 0, right? Is 0 included?
Yeah.
Yes. So y is greater than or equal to 0. Number 3. Okay, using the function up above, state the vertex, whether it's a min or max, the equation of the axis of symmetry, and the y-intercept. Okay, what is, you guys remember that? I'm sure you do. What's the vertex for that thing on number 3?
-3.
-3, what?
Oh, -3, 4.
Yeah, left 3 up 4, right? So -3, 4. Hopefully we haven't forgotten that. Wasn't that long ago. Alright, is it going to be a min or max point?
Maximum.
Yeah. Is the parabola going to be rising or falling on number 3?
Oh no, it's gonna be rising, so that's a minimum point.
Right. The parabola is going up because it's positive, and there's no negative on front, so it is a minimum point. Minimum. Was it okay? What's the axis of symmetry?
-3.
X equals -3. You can't just say -3. That means it can mean something else. And what's the y-intercept? How do we find the y-intercept?
2.
Negative 4. Not for the side
No. -3, 4 would be like right here. Not the y-intercept. What's true about all y-intercepts? Like what could the coordinates of that point be?
0 something.
Right. 0 something. Okay, so that means y-intercepts happen when the x value is 0. So what you do is you plug in 0 for the x value and you see what you get. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 squared. Notice I'm using order of operations. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 4 is 22. So it's at 0, 22. Good thing you don't have to graph. Speaking of, no, we don't, yeah, it does say graph these. Alright, graph paper time.
Graph paper time.
Very questionable graph paper. You guys are
That. At least I'm special.
You are special.
character. Like neighbor. Like these
Quirks make it nasty.
Yep.
There. Number 5, for each function state the vertex, whether the vertex is max or min, whether the function's graph is steeper than, flatter than, or same as f of x equals x squared. Then graph the function. That's a lot of work for these.
Okay.
Okay, number 5, where do you guys think the vertex is going to be? What's the 4 in front of the x squared do to it? You guys remember?
It's steeper.
Right, makes it go up faster. Does that move the vertex? No.
So 0, 0.
So yeah, on number 5, the vertex is at 0, 0. Comma. Second question was, is the vertex going to be a max or minimum point?
Minimum.
Positive going up, so the vertex is at the bottom, it's a minimum point. Minimum. Is it steep or flat or normal?
It's steeper, isn't it?
Steeper because of the 4. Makes it go up 4 times faster. Okay, and then graph. Okay, you guys remember how we graph? On your graphs, actually, since we know it's going up very quickly, you might make your graph, and we're starting at 0, 0, right? So you might just draw your graph like that, because this is starting and we're going up. Since it's going up so quickly, we'll only do 3 points on this one. How do I find another point on the parabola?
You plug in something for x.
Right. Choose an x value close to the vertex. This has an x value of 0, so I'm going to plug an x value of 1 in. If I plug in 1,
It's 4.
you get 1 squared is 1 times 4 is 4. So there's a spot at 1, 4, which means since this is the vertex, there must be a spot at -1, 4.
Can we just do that much? My graph is
Yeah.
big enough.
If we did plug in 2, what would we get?
2 squared is 4, 4 times 4 is 16.
16. So, yeah, I'll say, if it's bigger than 10, I'll say we'll just do 3 points.
I hate it when they do like the f of x thing, and it's just 1. It works so much better.
Okay, number 7, g of x equals -1/2 x squared plus 2. Where is the vertex going to be? What's the negative do to the graph?
Makes it go down. It'll be a max.
It'll go down, right? What does the 1/2 do?
Make it flatter.
Flatter. What does the plus 2 do?
Raises the vertex.
Raise it up 2, right?
Yes.
It's not in the parentheses like number 9, so it's just going to go up 2. So the vertex is at
0, 2.
0, 2. What was the next question? Is it a max or min point?
And it's a maximum.
Maximum. Steep or flat? Did I forget a question? No, that's it. Okay. Yeah, so we're starting at 0, 2 and going down, right? So anyway, there's 0, 2. How do I find my next point?
You plug in something.
Plug in something close to the vertex. The vertex is at 0 on the x, so I'm going to plug in 1. If you plug in evens on this one, it'll be a little easier because you got to multiply by 1/2. So, but I'm going to plug in 1 anyway.
No, let's plug in
1 squared is 1 times -1/2 is -1/2 plus 2 is 1/2. So 1, 1/2. -1, 1/2. And if I plug in 2, that's an even. 2 squared is 4 times negative a half is negative 2, plus 2 is 0. 0, 0. Some of you guys, when I graded this, I think it was this class too, but you were just kind of guessing when you did your second points. And you might notice I kind of went wrong. Unless you guessed right, of course. Okay, so if it looks like a V, something's wrong. This one does look very close to a V, but it's not really. It is dropping off. Okay, number 9. Where's the vertex going to be at on number 9? What does the minus 2 in the parentheses do?
That's right, I haven't got that yet. Moves it left too.
Moves it right 2.
Oh,
So
yeah.
just like on number 3, the vertex was at negative 3, 4. So on 9, the vertex is going to be right 2, up 0. So it's at 2, 0. Is it a max or minimum point?
This would be,
It's positive, so it's going
Yeah.
up, so the vertex is at the bottom. Is it steep, flat, or same?
same, right?
Same. There's no number multiplied in front. It's going to go normal pacing. The vertex is at 2, 0, so starting over here. Alright. If I plug in, so what should I plug in?
1.
I could plug in 1 or I could plug in 3. Okay, we'll plug in 1. If I plug in 1, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. So when it's going up at a normal pace, you might kind of get the pattern. It's always up, over 1, up 1. But the next step is steeper, right? It's going up at a exponential pace. What's another one I should plug in?
0.
0 or 4. 0. If I plug in 0, I will get negative 2 squared, which is 4. So 0, 4, 4, 4. Okay, number 11 is probably the problem you guys forgot how to do. How do we do it when it's written in standard form? Where is the vertex for number 11?
Down 6.
No. It's at negative b over 2a. Remember, it's like the front part of the quadratic formula. Negative b over 2a. So on 11, what would negative b be?
Would you use that on number 10?
Yeah, 11 and 10. When it's written in standard form, you have to use that. And 10. Say what?
Negative 2 over 1.
Oh, and 12, I meant. Negative 2. And then 2a, 2 times 1/2 is 1, so it's negative 2. So negative 2 basically is the x-coordinate of the vertex. So it's going to be, it's like the axis of symmetry. So to find the y-coordinate, we plug in negative 2 back into the function. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 times 1/2 is 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Lost my place. So it's negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8.
How'd you get negative 8 again?
Plugged in negative 2. Okay, that's the only weird part about those. The rest of it is like, we have to answer 2 more questions. Is it going to be maximum or minimum point? Minimum. Is it steep or flat or what?
Flat.
Flat. The 1/2 in front. That first term is the most important, it's strong because of the exponent. Okay, anyways, flattered. So, make sure you go down to -2, -8, make sure you leave room for that. So I'm gonna draw it like this. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kinda missed. Alright, so this is at -2, so I'm gonna plug in -1. I plug in -1, I get 1 times a half is a half, minus 2 is -1.5, minus 6 is -7.5. So go over 1 and only went up a half.
Where's that first point at?
Whoops. Right there.
Oh, -2, 8.
That's good enough. Alright, okay, we need 1 more point. So plugged in -1, now I'm gonna plug in 0. X equals 0. That'd be 0, 0, minus 6. 0 is always a good one to plug in. So -6 would be right there. And right there.
I think that's good enough. Oh, we have a test tomorrow in Bible. Oh, man.
Okay, number 13. Write each inequality in vertex form. We never learned to do that. We're going to do the same
We have to graph that.
trick that we've been doing. Yeah, we're gonna graph it.
Oh,
We graphed a few inequalities.
I don't think we should.
So it's pretty much just like 11. What's step number 1?
Find the point.
Negative b over 2a. Step
Yeah.
number 1. So negative b on 13 would be -12
What?
over 2a would be 2 times 1. It's 2. -12 over -2 is -6. That's the x coordinate of the vertex. If you
So what problems do you do that -b?
when it's written in standard form. So you see
What standard, like how do you use that standard form?
when it's written like x squared plus x plus the number.
Okay.
Number like 8, they call that vertex form because you can just look at it and know what the vertex is.
Okay.
All right. So I'm plugging in -6, and I get 36 minus 72 plus 36 is 0. Now this one's way out to the left. Is it going to go up or down?
It's gonna go up.
So might draw it like this time, or since it's going up, I guess. Maybe draw it like this, starting left and going up. So all the action's going to be over here. So -6, 0, and actually I need to go farther, don't I?
I gotta redo my whole graph now. It's just great. Just
All right, what are we plugging in? So it's at -6 now, so I'm going to plug in -5. -5 squared is 25, minus 60 is -35, plus 36 is 1. Okay, it's going up at a normal rate, so that's kind of could have guessed that. Does anybody know what the next step over is going to go up by?
no idea, man.
It's going to go. It's going to go 4 from here or 3 from here. That's the normal rate. So if I plug in -4, I should get 4.
How can we tell that?
Because it's a normal pace and that happens every time. negative 4, 4.
And now we color the inside.
Okay, is the line solid or dashed? Don't forget that.
Oh, John.
Oh, this is
Oh, man.
dash.
It's at this
You're-
point where I just draw an arrow.
you already
Say,
drew
this
it.
line is dash.
You can just
What'd you say?
erase parts of the line.
Oh, that's
I just-
smart.
But it doesn't
I
look
just,
right.
whenever I do this with my assignments, I just draw like an arrow and write, this line is dash. Even though it's definitely solid.
I mean, technically, he's not wrong.
Alright. Shit, where are we shading it?
Inside.
Yeah, greater than, so that'd be above, so it's kind of like inside. Let me get out my pretty colors.
This is my great skill in algebra 2. I'm good at shading.
Yeah, but you can slack
No,
them.
not
Pretty ugly.
that.
You know what, Brady? Let me see yours, huh?
I never said
I
that.
forgot where all the toys are.
That's pitiful, Brady. Disgusting.
I don't remember paintbrush.
Oh.
Is that new?
Wow.
Would you look at that? That's just dapper.
Is that a new thing?
I believe
Probably
so.
not.
That's cool.
Looks like actual paint.
Can we do a Bob Ross thing where you try and do it with
Yeah.
Make a happy little tree over here.
Happy accident.
What's happy with Draw another little tree.
Kinda looks,
Because everybody needs a friend.
that's cool. It looks like not a computer thing. Alright,
Now I want to watch Bob Ross. Dang it.
you got the hair for it. Alright.
Thank you.
Number 15, find the zeros of each function. Algebraically. What does that mean? Okay, so we're done with graph paper for now.
Yes.
Find the zeros means set the function equal to 0 and solve it. We learned a bunch of different ways, but calculators can do it, but what's an easier way to do this one?
Just,
Factoring.
or you can just do it.
What goes into -3 that adds up to 2?
1. Alright. Just hear about this. -1 and 2.
Okay, now.
And
-1 3. I'm an idiot.
You're so smart, Eric.
Shut up, Brady.
If you didn't do the dramatic setup, it wouldn't have came off so bad. That was 15, right? Oh, yeah, I forgot right now. X is 1 or -3.
Yeah, let's do more of those. Those are fun.
On the graph, that's where it crosses the x-axis, right?
Yeah.
1, 0, -3, 0. Number 17. 7x squared plus 2x minus 1. Okay, factoring, yeah. If you think about it, factoring is not going to work. Factors of 7, factors of 1, not going to get you a 2 out of that. So
Yeah,
quadratic
let's do that.
formula is correct. Negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Negative b is -2. B squared is 4. Minus 4 times 7 times -1. Positive 28. Wait, yeah. Over 2a, 14.
Why would we put B equal to 2?
Hmm?
Oh wait, no, okay, that was just the equation.
32 is actually 16 times 2. So it's 4 square root of 2.
Yay.
So how can we simplify that?
We can't.
Well, usually when it's not imaginary, we don't separate them, but we can still reduce. We divide everything by 2. Usually when it's not imaginary, we just leave it all at 1. You can separate it, yes. Actually, now I'm kind of wondering if the book did. No, I don't think they did. No, they didn't. Oh, even if you separated it, it wouldn't really reduce anymore because the 7 doesn't reduce. Alright. If we wanted to graph this, what does this tell me right here?
That it's not gonna be an even number.
These are the zeros of the function, it's where it crosses the x-axis. You have to plug these in, plug this in twice in your calculator. Change it to a decimal. To put those x-intercepts in. Okay, 19, using a graphing calculator. Okay. Maybe I'll leave this one for you guys. Find the zeros of the function. So this would be, I think I'll just leave this one to you guys. Where you hit second trace
Oh, okay.
on your graph.
And which one?
19.
It's what we did that on Friday, right? And like Wednesday or something. Number 21, divide. How do we divide on 21?
You just take everything out, don't you? You just divide normally. Remember, because this was like the ones that we thought was going to be super tricky, but really wasn't.
21, yeah, is not tricky. If you're just dividing by a single term, it's like distributive property. You just divide each term by that. So you do 4 divided by 2. Is this 21? 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then what's x cubed divided by x?
That's the second.
X squared. And then y cubed divided by y cubed. Gone. Plus 18 divided by 2.
Instead of being
X squared divided by x. Y4 divided by y3. Minus 12 divided by 2. X divided by x is gone. Y5 divided by y3.
Look at that. So much.
Alright, 23 is a doozy. Lucky for you guys, it's an odd.
22.
Oh, that looks easy.
22, you're supposed to use long division. 23 is long division with the on steroids.
Let's not. How about that?
Let's see if we can get this done in time. Okay, there is no a cubed term, so I'm going to put plus 0 a cubed. That's only one of the problems with 23. I never made us go this far on the homework. And here you're about to see the reason. Okay, not only does the dividend, is it missing a term, the divisor is also missing a term. We're dividing by a squared minus 2. And it's a 3-term divisor.
Okay, I'm just gonna flip over the page for this one. So know what that is.
Okay,
I got 3 lines.
a squared times what?
Okay.
You got 3 lines. Right, tiny.
I had 12 ones. So I'm not
A squared times what equals a to the 5th? A squared times what equals a to the 5th?
Give me a sec. I still gotta write this whole thing down.
I haven't even wrote this down yet.
If you weren't whining, you would have had that done. So then I'm going to do a3 times all of this and put it down below. a3 times a2 is a to the 5th. If those first two don't match up, you did something wrong. a3 times 0 is just going to be 0. Okay. a3 times minus 2 is minus 2a3. Okay, here's the tricky part. Remember that we're actually subtracting the bottom line now. So not just this, we're subtracting all of it. So it's like that's a minus, and a minus becomes a plus. A5s go away. 6a4 minus 6a4. 0a3 plus 2a3. plus 2a3. Bring down the next term. Start over.
Wait, let me get all that.
This is trash.
This is the pits.
Oh, I wonder what Mr. Bell would be saying about this.
Does he got something worse than the pits?
I don't know if we
Oh, I've heard him say, I wouldn't wish it on the devil.
No,
Last night.
Did he say that to you guys?
I don't think he did.
He said that repeatedly to me about his heart surgery.
And the
A
guy
squared.
after me.
A squared times what equals 6a to the fourth? Well, yeah, 6a squared. So that's the next one. Am I gonna have room to see it all?
No.
There's that fit. 6a squared times a squared is 6a to the fourth. And we can pick up the pace. 6a to the fourth, or 6a squared times 0. That's just gonna be a 0. 6a squared times minus 2 is minus 12a squared. We got one left after this one. Subtract down everything. Minus becomes a plus. That goes away, should every time. This becomes 2a cubed. Negative 2 plus 12 is plus 10. Oh no, there's one more step after this one. We still got the plus 18 to bring down. Okay.
Trash.
Alright,
You got the lines yet?
a squared, I'm gonna speed up. Sorry guys, I'm gonna leave you behind. A squared times what equals 2a squared? It's 2a times 1, blah, 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 plus 0, plus 4a. Subtract down, gone. Bring down the plus 18, start over. A squared times what equals 10a squared? I gotta move the page. 10 times that is 10a squared plus 0a minus 20. So, if I subtract, I get 5a plus 38.
That's the remainder.
That's the remainder. Can't divide that by an a squared. So 5a plus 38 over a squared minus 2. Ah, I should have skipped that one. We'll probably skip it in the other class.
That was. How many lines did that take you, Matthew? 4.
I thought you said you only had 3.
Well, you know that little line at the bottom that doesn't really count? I don't use that.
Oh.
That took me
Hey, I was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lines.
Here, I'll scroll down.
why was the remainder plus 38?
Because you're subtracting minus 20.
This is the pits.
That was the pits. Now we're through the pits though, so.
I feel like that's a lot.
Synthetic division, that is definitely through the pits.
Oh, yeah. I can do that.
Okay, on 25, what should I write down? Are you guys down with 23?
Yeah, it just really messed up my page.
Just ruined your life, I know. On 25, what are the coefficients we should write down?
1.
Yeah, I could probably do a whole problem with the space that.
Okay, 1.
This one.
Negative 2. 2.
Oh no, it's missing one, isn't it?
0.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now what?
Negative 2. Negative 1. Negative 10.
Sure, we're out, aren't we? Alright, and what do we put in the box?
2, right?
No,
Negative 2?
negative 2. When it's a divisor, when you're dividing the factor, you put the opposite in the box. When it's a possible answer, you put them just it in the box. If this comes up to 0, that means x plus 2 was a factor. It also means negative 2 is a 0 of the function. It makes the whole thing equal 0. So it kind of means two things at once. Alright, add down. Multiply up. like to give you the zeros. What's the answer? Is the answer 0? No. Anybody know what the answer is? That's a remainder. That's a normal number. That's the x term, x squared, x cubed.
Don't we have to do it again?
Yeah.
No,
What?
we're not solving. We just divided.
Oh.
Okay, if we were solving, we would know -2 is an answer, and then we'd have to find another answer out of this. Possible answers are factors of 5 or factors of 1, right? Oh gosh. I'm worried on it.
We might have to make this a
Wait, could we use
I can't.
synthetic
It's
division
test on Friday. We're not moving
on
it.
23?
Huh?
Could we use synthetic division on 23?
Yeah, go ahead and do. No, because what would you put in the box? It's not 2.
Oh,
This is
I don't know.
In a kind of a weird sense, you could, but it's actually it would be harder than long division. Believe it or not.
I
You have to-
don't believe you.
You'd have to plug in square root of 2 and negative square root of 2, and it would be extremely difficult. 27. Is that what are we going to? 29. Did I read these? Yeah, I think I did. 27. Use the factor theorem to determine whether x minus 1 is a factor of that. How do we know if x minus 1 is a factor?
Plug it in.
What does that mean?
You put it in the equation.
Okay. I know that x plus 2 is a factor because when I synthetically divided it, I got a 0 for a remainder. So we repeat the process we did on 25. And
So
then
just
the answer this time is just yes or no, though.
it
27, what are the coefficients for 27?
is,
1, 4, negative 7, negative 22, 24.
Yeah, and
the thing it wants us to do is negative 1.
Would that be -1 or would it be 1?
Look, it would be 1.
Oh, okay.
We are dividing.
They just have
Okay.
to do that again.
Whoops, I did the same thing twice. So, if x minus 1 is what we're dividing by, we put 1 in the box. If we're checking if 1 is the answer, we put 1 in the box. Okay, so it's kind of got double purpose here. So add down 1, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it's kind of a trick question, isn't it? Because it looks like it might be 0, but unless I made a mistake.
You wrote it down though. It's positive 24.
Oh, fine.
So it does work.
There you go. So,
That's twice in the same problem and scribble something else. Something out.
yeah, well, the first one I was just listening to Brady
well, that was Jackson. Jackson said that.
and
What?
Jackson.
Yeah.
What I do?
I just agree with Jackson. 'Cause
Well, that's probably my fault for
Listen.
listening.
Yeah.
Okay. On 29, how many possible answers does it have?
3.
Complex means it could include
Wait, we don't do
imaginary.
29.
Here we do.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
It's a really easy
I wrote
one.
that down
I
wrong.
thought it was 5.
That looks like a 5.
1, 2,
Okay,
3,
yeah, how many possible answers does 29 have?
4. Take it or leave it.
5.
Dang it.
Because it's the degree, right? 5 is the largest power, that's the number of possible answers. Now, I say possible because sometimes you get double roots and triple roots, and so that kind of
Can
screws
you
up.
get a quadruple root?
You can get, yeah, there can be as many roots as there are, as the degree is. Okay, then we jump to what? 35.
35.
Find the roots.
Nope.
Okay.
X
Yeah.
equals.
I'm surprised they didn't ask for possible answers. Oh, 28 asked for possible answers. Okay, 35. What are the possible?
What about 29?
We just said it was 5.
Oh, is that the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, on 35, what are the possible rational roots?
Trace.
Huh?
3.
Okay.
Don't we have to set it to 0 first?
Trace.
Yeah, we should move everything to one side. So subtract the 7x and subtract the 15 over x cubed plus x squared. Minus the 7x and minus the 15 over, so it looks like a normal equals 0 thing. Okay, what are possible rational roots? You could kind of cheat and use your calculator on this to find. Now, there are 3 answers, and your calculator could only help you find one of the zeros of the function, because 2 of these are going to be imaginary answers, so, but we got to find all 3. So, factors of 15 over factors of 1. You guys remember that? Factors of 15 are 1 and 3 and 5 and 15.
So is this how we do number 28?
Yeah, 28. Yeah, the answers are supposed to be like this: plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus. Don't forget your plus or minus, because then I have to take off like half credit. Easy way to lose half credit. So that's not the answer to 31. That's the answer to like 28.
Now plug it in.
We do have to plug it in and see what works. So let's start with easy. 1 plus 1.
Wait, that's 31.
Why can't you combine
No,
those
it's
two?
not the answer. Sorry. We gotta actually see what works. We actually have to solve this one. If I plug in 1, I get 1 plus 1 minus 7 minus 15 is not 0. If I plug in negative 1, I get negative 1 plus 1 plus 7 minus 15. That's not 0. If I plug in 3, I get 27 plus 9, which is 36 minus 21 is 15 minus 15 is 0. Yay, 3 works. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put those coefficients across and use synthetic division or substitution to plug 3 in. So basically I'm dividing my answer out like if 3 is an answer, x minus 3 is a factor, and divide by x minus 3 basically. To get what's left from this, it'll give me a quadratic that I can actually solve. Okay, add down, multiply it up. Add down, multiply it up. Add down, multiply it up, add down. Okay, if you don't get a remainder of 0, you did something wrong, because it should divide perfectly. Which means, what I'm left with, x squared plus 4x plus 5. Does this, hold on, does this factor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's kind of a trick question. It looks like it does, but it doesn't.
What the heck?
What goes into 5 that adds up to 4?
5 and
5 and negative 1, right?
1. Yo, and it's.
That doesn't multiply to 5.
That's a good.
So you have to use quadratic formula to finish it off. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. Negative 4 plus or minus square root of 16 minus 4ac over 2a2. 16 minus 20 is negative 4. Square root of negative 4.
It's not.
Square root of 4 is 2i. So it's going to be negative 4 plus or minus 2i, each of them over 2. I split it, as you can see. So it's negative 2 plus or minus I. What was our first answer?
3.
So the calculator cannot read this part. It can help you find the 3 if you use that second trace thing. We'll work on this tomorrow, but tomorrow's Wednesday, so if you want to do some homework tonight, that might be wise.
No.
Maybe 5 problems or so, keep you on pace.
Do what you know.
I regret and repent from having done number 23.
Oh, that's just great.
I just ruined our pace. Don't forget I did skip 19, the calculator problem.
You guys have to do that?
Yeah, you still have to do 19.
You should give us an evening then.
You can do it tomorrow. I mean, it is a calculator problem anyway.